talent agent for this joint. Like, you think I'll be sitting around watching what Diddy do and all this? I didn't know this was a Diddy joint that y'all invited me to. Yo, who booked me for this joint?
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the rapper Cam'ron's appearance on CNN, where he was brought to speak about the situation with Sean Diddy Combs, also known as Puff Daddy. We all know the story about Puff. He's been raided by Homeland Security at his home in Los Angeles and Miami, Florida. There was also a video of him beating up his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, back in 2016 in Los Angeles. So there's quite a bit going on with Puff. Now, Cam'ron, been around for a long time, about 48, 49 years old, way too old to be acting like that on CNN, but we'll talk about that in a minute. He was around during Puff's time, and he is a close friend with Mace. Cam'ron and Mace grew up together, Harlem, New York City, played basketball together, and at one point, Mace was signed to Puff on Bad Boy. They got a lot of songs together. I think Mace did one album over there, Harlem World. Shout out to Mace. Now, if you ask me, Mace would have been a better guy to bring on CNN and talk about Puff, because Mace knows Puff probably better than Cam'ron does, because he was around him on the label. But for some reason, they brought Cam'ron on, and what happened was a disaster, a complete disaster. But if you know about Cam, like I know about Cam, this was predictable, and I got to kind of side with him a little bit. At a certain point, he's like, yo, who is a talent director for this? Who brought me on? That was a great question, because I would never have brought Cam'ron on CNN. He's done this before. Now, before we get to the pressing clip, let's look at some of his history, shall we? Because this is not a new thing. Back in 2003, he had an infamous interview with Bill O'Reilly when he was with Dame Dash, and he even warned him. You see the headline here. Cam'ron recalls being warned about Bill O'Reilly before the famous 2003 interview in which the ex-Fox News host suggested the rapper's music encourages gun violence, okay? Now, you see what he has on right there, a Utah Jazz jersey back in the 2003 oversized pants and shoes and whatnot days. You know, the oversized fitted cap is about 2 or 3 sizes too big. Let's look at this, and you can kind of see what kind of guy we're dealing with.
Where'd you start? Current affair, right?
No, wrong.
Well, you faked a lot. I got dirt on you, doggy.
Cam'ron,
I'm gonna get at you in a minute.
You go ahead. You get at me.
I'm gonna get at you.
You go ahead. You get at me. This interview was a dumpster fire, and you can kind of tell what Cam was going to do on this one. Here's another one. Anderson Cooper, 2007, and he's going to talk about, hey, if it was a serial killer next door, what would I do?
Is there any situation where you think it's okay to talk to the police?
Yeah, definitely. Say hello, how you feel, everything all right, period.
That's it.
There's nothing really to talk about with the police. I mean, for what?
If there's a serial killer living next door to you, though, and you know that person is, you know, killing people, would you be a snitch if you called police and told them?
If I knew the serial killer was living next door to me?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't call and tell anybody on him, but I'll probably move, but I'm not going to call and be like, you know, the serial killer's in 4E.
So when you see stuff like this one from 07, the first one from 03, you're like, you know what? That might not be the guy we got to bring on right now to CNN. That might not be the way. You know, of course, he's older now. He was much younger back then. He's about 48, 49 years old, approaching 50. You would think he'd be a little bit more mature. And things kind of started off that way, but they quickly devolved. Now, let's go ahead and check this out. And of course, I will link to everything in the box. And without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Thanks for being here. First, when you saw that video of Diddy, Cassie in that hotel, did you recognize that Sean Combs?
And let's get some fair use, CNN. Fair use. Don't give me no copyright.
What I want to say, first of all, when I seen the video, everything in the video was egregious. I'm against. I don't support all the charges that's alleged against him. I don't support any of that trafficking, minors, domestic violence. I'm totally against it. So when I seen the video, yeah, I was kind of upset with it. No, being that I know him, he's not necessarily a friend, but yeah, I was upset when I seen it. But
did you recognize
everything
him?
I just said.
Did you recognize that kind of anger at all? from your
I don't know
experiences?
him like that. What do you mean? Do I be recognized? Did I recognize him? I seen.
He got a quick temper because it started off pretty good. He was just giving his opinion. It's like, I saw what happened in the video. I don't condone it, all this and that. That's the right answer. And then when she's asking about, did you recognize? Now he's just, rather than just answering how somebody would answer if they don't really know him that well, he just kind of snaps here.
What do you mean my experiences? I seen him and I thought it was disgusting. I didn't do a zoom in to see if it was really him or nothing, but he admitted it was him. So yeah, it was him.
What did you think about the apology that he gave in that other video?
Ain't me for this. The apology ain't for me to decide. It's for Cassie. What I think about it don't matter. He ain't do nothing to me. Cassie need to ask Cassie if she accept the apology. I told you how I feel. I said what I said.
I want to play a conversation that you had on your podcast back in September with Mace. Listen.
Yeah.
When you had your record deal, why did you take me to Biggie Smalls and not Bad Boy?
Now, this is who they should have brought on, Mace, because like I said, Mace and Puff know each other better than Cam and Puff. They should have had Mace on. I don't know why they brought Cam on CNN to talk about Mace, then talk about Puff. It's like you're going through an extra layer, the middleman. Go straight to the person who would know.
Man, it's almost going to bring me to tears to say this. Being that I saw you as such a good friend, I wanted to put you with somebody I knew with.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. A lot of people ask me that on Instagram, man. Don't have me just out here crying and shit, man. I don't want to get emotional in here, man.
Instantly, I knew Biggie would do right by you.
Now, let's pause right here. They have a podcast, Cam and Mace, called It Is What It Is. They talk about sports and other things, social stuff. At one point, they had O.J. Simpson as a recurring guest, RIP to him. I think they had Mark Jackson, who was at one point Golden State Warriors coach, also a color commentator on television. I'm not sure if they have him still right now, but that's the show they have. Now, Cameron is going to respond to this dumpster fire on that show. We'll get to that interview or that segment from the show in just one moment. Y'all hang tight.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that? I mean, is there something known in the industry about how Diddy treated his artists?
So I'm going to get some cheeks after this horsepower joint.
I don't know why he did that. Now, I don't have to really explain or really line out what just happened right there, but you could put two and two together. He drank a stimulant for some activities with a young lady. We put it to you that way. Okay, keep everything PG-13 around these parts.
I'm just going off what Mace said. Mace took me to Biggie. I don't really know Puff is like Mace know Puff. So I appreciate what Mace said. And of course, that's my brother. So if he felt that way, then he felt that way. I can't really tell you how Puff moves or anything like that. Mace may know better than me because he was signed to Puff. I wasn't. But
exactly. I agree with that. Mace would know better. Now, as soon as he drank the horsepower, that should have been an interview. Cut the camera right there. But of course, CNN, these guys are kind of dumb, so they don't do what needs to be done.
Show does come on at 8 a.m. Eastern on YouTube. It's called It Is What It Is. And y'all make sure y'all check it out. I mean, I might get some more information out of Mace from there, but for me to tell you how Puff act and all that, I don't know. I never was signed to him.
Yeah. What about the industry in general? I mean, so many people have pointed out that Diddy couldn't get away with this stuff if there weren't a lot of people protecting him. Do you think that's the case?
Who the talent agent for this joint? Like, you think I'll be sitting around watching what Diddy do and all this? I didn't know this was a Diddy joint that y'all invited me to. Who booked me for this joint?
All right.
Wow, and I don't be sitting
Cameron,
around watching Diddy and all that. Yeah,
thanks.
Man, come on, man. That's
Thanks
just
for
crazy,
joining
man.
us. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you for having me. You enjoy it.
All right, so that's that. Now, like I said, he responded to the interview and gave his side of the story on the show. So I guess maybe he didn't go to sleep. He has on the same clothes from the interview.
My thing about it was, Mace, is that they didn't invite me on to say about how successful our show is or the positive stuff we do in the community.
Listen, Cam, you're not, come on, man. You've been around media, music, the industry for a long time. They don't care about that. If they bring you on, it's about the pressing issue. The hot button issue is going to get clicks and views and ratings. Puff Daddy, Cassie, the video. They're not talking about your podcast and all of that. Now, you could talk about Puff, and at the end of it, you could say, hey, well, we'll talk about it more. I'll ask Mace more on It Is What It Is on YouTube, 8 a.m., Monday through Friday. You could say something like that and promote yourself that way. But what you did just was a dumpster fire. And now here I am reporting on a dumpster fire rather than all the so-called positive stuff you guys do.
How every day, 5 days a week, Mace talks to kids on a Zoom call. Mace doesn't even promote this. I'm going to promote this for Mace. Is that every day at 5 o'clock, it don't matter what's going on, what's happening, where he's at. It could be money involved. It could be a photo shoot. It could be whatever. He stops what he's doing to talk to kids around the world about being positive and doing what they believe in and so on and so forth. And to the point where, one day he was at my house and he told me, Cam, you can't make no noise. Don't come in. I'm not playing with you. Like, that's how serious, no, but seriously, that's how serious he takes what he does. And we do all these positive things. And you call me on CNN for the bullshit, I'm going to give you the bullshit. That's just what's going to happen. So we got some free promo. I teased the Pink Horsepower. They tried to bring up when Mace.
So maybe that's his drink that he has, that he drank on camera. I mean, why would you promote that there?
Bought me the Biggie instead of Puff, and I said, yeah, if you've seen it, what you asking me about it for? Like, it was self-explanatory. So I got us some free promo. I didn't get the shout out to Dipset Couture. Make sure you go online to dipsetcouture.us to order some shirts and everything else. But yeah, I just felt that you try to use me, to whatever Diddy going through to down him. And listen, the video, I don't support it. I don't believe in domestic violence. I don't believe in anything that has to do with being a pedophile. I don't believe in sex trafficking. I think what I seen in the video was egregious, and the charges are up. They're really up. Oh, wait, I said what I said. I gave a disclaimer at the beginning. Then we got on the commercial. That was that. So that's how that went yesterday, man. I don't know why they didn't watch 60 Minutes. They didn't watch Bill O'Reilly.
He's saying it right here. But didn't I just show you guys the whole thing earlier from Anderson Cooper and then Bill O'Reilly? He's saying it right there. It's like, yo, y'all should have known who I was from the beginning. And that's why I agree when he said, yo, who was a talent agent? Why would you bring me on? You already know what you're going to get.
This is what I do on them joints, boys. Y'all keep inviting me up to Fox, CNN, 60 Minutes. Y'all already know what the resume is with them shows with me. But yeah, that's what happens, Stat.
So he's telling you right there. I mean, hey, one thing I can respect, he's going to be who he is. I wouldn't behave that way, obviously, on television. Me, obviously, I would never do nothing like that. But he is telling you, I've been doing the same thing for 20 years. Why would you bring me on? Your people don't know what they're doing. Why would you bring me on rather than Mace when Mace is the guy who was signed to Puff and not me? Like, who's the talent agent? You think because he's popular and has a show, we could just bring him on, just a rapper, he'll just start talking? Like, there's no investigation going on. But as I close, I want to say this. Yeah, that was a dumpster fire interview, but something that was very predictable. He has a track record of doing it. So this is really on the both of them, CNN for bringing them on and Cam for just being who he is. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on what Cameron did here on television? Appropriate, inappropriate, predictable, not predictable, whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. Obviously, this is predictable. This is what Cameron does. He even told you, hey, check the resume. This is what I do. Why would you bring me on? Very simple. CNN sucks. They're dumb. And this whole thing really is on them. Why would you bring a guy like that on? Doesn't make any sense. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.